And I think that's why the issue was, because Meghan would not conform to the rules of the royal household.
Tom Bower has just dropped a revelation that's left Meghan Markle completely blindsided, and this one cuts deeper than any royal feud or PR storm.
Well, she's a liar.
But this isn't just another headline. There's more to this story than anyone expected. Today, I'll break down the details that could change everything we thought we knew about Meghan's past. Agegate Uncovered.
No, I choose people who don't want to be written about on the whole, whose lives are shrouded in mystery, and they want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know.
It started like every great scandal does, with something so mundane it had to be true. A magazine. 17 Magazine, March 1997. Inside, a smiling Meghan Markle listed as a 21-year-old student from Los Angeles. Simple, harmless, until someone did the math. According to her official royal biography, Meghan was born in 1981, which would make her 16 at the time. Suddenly, that glossy teen mag wasn't nostalgia. It was evidence. Bower calls it a chronological crime scene, the kind of mistake that rewrites an entire narrative. Social media went wild. Reddit detectives brought out calculators, while royal commentators squinted at old yearbook photos like forensic analysts. Theories multiplied faster than Meghan's old Instagram followers. Was she really born in 1976? Had she shaved years off her age to fit into Hollywood's youth-obsessed machinery? Or was the magazine itself misprinted? A simple typo that spiraled into a royal reckoning? What made it irresistible wasn't just the number, it was the symbolism. If Meghan's birth year could shift, then everything else, her career timeline, her self-made rise, even her fairy tale marriage could suddenly feel like part of a master edit. One magazine, one number, a lifetime of questions. Timeline twisted.
So when Meghan came along into the scene, I just thought, this is fascinating. How is this going to play? To tell the truth, I spoke to very few friends of Meghan because she put a fatwa on anyone talking to me who she could. So I sent off dozens and dozens of emails to her friends, and most of them didn't even reply. And obviously,
once the math stopped adding up, the memories followed suit. Tom Bower called it the Great Markle Mystery, a life that doesn't quite fit inside its own dates. Childhood stories misaligned with public records. School milestones that didn't match the photos. Acting resumes updated, deleted, rewritten. Even her Suits debut felt suspiciously like Act 2 of a longer, hidden career. Industry insiders whispered that Meghan's fresh-faced breakout wasn't fresh at all, that she'd been auditioning for years, maybe decades, before Hollywood decided she was new again. Her secret weapon? A strategically adjusted age. In an industry that treats birthdays like expiration dates, being 30 meant decline. Being 26 meant potential. So when Meghan's team allegedly cleaned up her profile, it wasn't lying, it was branding. Then came the vanishing act. Old interviews disappeared from archives. Early bios quietly scrubbed their date references. And the palace, the institution that documents everything from tiaras to teacups, remained eerily silent. For royal watchers, that silence spoke volumes, because in the monarchy, truth isn't rewritten, it's reframed. And Meghan, ever the Hollywood survivor, had just turned her biography into a screenplay. The Meghan Markle we knew might not be gone. She might just be edited for public consumption. Father's confession. And then came Thomas Markle, the wild card nobody wanted but everyone listened to. Her estranged father, the man who's alternated between heartbreak and betrayal, suddenly re-entered the story with receipts. Old photos, school records, birthday cards. That's not the Meghan I knew, he said, shaking his head at the royal biography that listed 1981 as her birth year. According to him, the timeline was off. By years. Bower quoted him like a witness in a family courtroom. She was already working full-time when they said she was still in school. Other neighbors backed him up. She was always older than she said, one former acquaintance told tabloids. We didn't care. She was ambitious. And there it was, the soundbite that turned gossip into investigation. Suddenly, Meghan's childhood looked less like a humble LA upbringing and more like a case file of mismatched dates. Was Thomas bitter, or was he finally confirming what Meghan's PR team couldn't spin? The palace refused to engage, treating the claims like background noise. But silence doesn't erase suspicion, it amplifies it. Even her mother, Doria Ragland, stayed quiet, too quiet. And in that vacuum, conspiracy grew like ivy. Was Meghan truly rewriting her own past? Or had her past been rewritten for her long before she could speak? Whatever the truth, one thing was undeniable. Every version of Meghan's story depended on which year you started counting. Hollywood illusion. Before The Crown, before the Palace Gates and Oprah confessions, there was Hollywood, the city where age isn't a number, it's a death sentence. And Meghan Markle, long before she was a duchess, was already a professional illusionist in an industry built on reinvention. According to insiders, she didn't just survive Hollywood's obsession with youth, she hacked it. When casting calls demanded early 20s, Meghan became 20-something forever. Her resume conveniently forgot a few birthdays, her online bio suddenly refreshed, and that glossy newcomer label fit her like couture. Tom Bower painted it bluntly. She played Hollywood like a game of chess, not chance. Because Meghan didn't just audition for roles, she auditioned for identity. A decade's worth of grind got compressed into a single, sparkling breakthrough, her overnight success on Suits. A performance built on years of strategic pruning. Photos vanished, agency profiles updated, and the record of her first gigs quietly slipped into digital oblivion. In an industry where women's careers expire faster than film stock, Meghan's age became her armor. A little white lie, or a well-timed omission, bought her a few extra years of relevance. And when she walked onto that royal stage, she didn't just bring charm or charisma. She brought the full toolkit of a Hollywood producer. Editing, scripting, controlling the frame. Because in Tinseltown, authenticity is an illusion. And Meghan, as Bower suggested, became its leading lady. Royal rewrites. When Meghan Markle crossed from Hollywood to Buckingham, most thought she left the performance behind. But Tom Bower's revelation suggests the opposite. She brought the entire production crew with her. Suddenly, even the monarchy's digital archives began to glitch. Old press bios disappeared. Royal family pages updated in silence. Mentions of her pre-royal life, those harmless little details, vanished faster than you could say protocol. This wasn't coincidence, it was curation. Meghan's story didn't just evolve, it was revised. And the palace, ever polished in public composure, stood by as their newest duchess rebranded the monarchy like a lifestyle brand launch. Royal watchers noticed. Headlines from her deal or no deal days blurred into myth. Early charity events dated to 1 year appeared reissued under another. It was like her past was being fed through a royal shredder and reassembled into a more palatable fairy tale. Tom Bower described it best: a polished production with missing scenes. Translation: someone had final cut privileges on their own history. And yet, every time Meghan erased an inconvenient detail, the internet found it again. Cached pages, archived blogs, forgotten interviews, the cover-up became the content. Because when you try to out-edit the monarchy, you forget one rule. The internet has better memory than Buckingham Palace. So while the royal facade gleamed, the data trail told another story. One that no palace press release could delete. Truth imploded. By the time Bower's claims reached full volume, the line between reality and reinvention had completely dissolved. Meghan Markle's life, her age, her career, her crown had become a choose-your-own-adventure story with no verified ending. Every version of her biography told a different truth, and every truth had its own PR strategy. Supporters called it sexism, the tired obsession with policing women's timelines. Critics called it manipulation, a lifelong edit job that blurred the line between survival and deceit. But whichever side you landed on, one thing was undeniable. Meghan had mastered the modern art of narrative control. From Hollywood ingenue to royal revolutionary, every phase of her life followed the same formula: perception over proof, headlines over honesty. Even motherhood, once the sacred chapter of royal life, became another stage-managed moment of mystery. Was she lying, or simply doing what every celebrity does, protecting the brand? Tom Bower didn't just accuse her of aging differently. He accused her of rewriting time itself. And in a world that treats fame like currency, maybe that's the truest scandal of all. Because Meghan didn't lose control of her story. She built it, edit by edit, frame by frame, until the world couldn't tell where fact ended and fiction began.